big blue North American sky. The race at the front is set up nicely. Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull on the grid. And the suspicion is that the fastest guy Hello and welcome all the fans around the world. Your host Naresh from Autocars India bringing you live commentary for round 7 of Formula 1 2018 season from Montreal. The sun is shining and it is a glorious day in Montreal as it has been all the weekend with the pine trees and modernist buildings of the picturesque Ile Notre-Dame offset against big blue North American sky. The race at the front is set up nicely. Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull on the grid. And the suspicion is that the fastest guy is not on the pole. After Lewis Hamilton suffered braking problems at the hairpin in qualifying, that may or may not have been caused by a bird being ingested in the brake duct. For sure, the racing is fast and furious around the circuit, Gilles Villeneuve. And even if the drivers say overtaking is harder since the rule changes of 2017, a close race with mixed strategies is very much in the prospect here. How 2018 driver standings as of today before the Canadian Grand Prix race day begins. Lewis Hamilton leading the drivers with 110 points for Mercedes, followed by Sebastian Vettel of Ferrari, 96 points, 14 points difference between the leader and Sebastian Vettel. Daniel Ricciardo sitting in third position with 72 points for Red Bull, followed by Valtteri Bottas of Mercedes with 68 points, closely matched Daniel Ricciardo and Valtteri Bottas. Fifth, Kimi Räikkönen with 60 points, Max Verstappen 35 points for Red Bull, Fernando Alonso McLaren 32 points, Nico Hülkenberg Renault 26 alongside his teammate Carlos Sainz for Renault 20, Kevin Magnussen Haas sits at 19 points, Pierre Gasly Scuderia Toro Rosso 18 points, Sergio Perez Force India 17 points, Esteban Ocon 9 points for Force India, Charles Leclerc, Sauber, 9 points, Stoffel Vandoorne, McLaren, 8 points, Lance Stroll, Williams, 4 points, Marcus Ericsson, 2 points for Sauber, Brendan Hartley, Toro Rosso, 1 point, with Roman Grosjean, Sergei Sirotkin are still to open the account in this year. How the constructors stand before the Canadian Grand Prix. Mercedes leading the pack with 178 points. Ferrari with some difference, 156 points. In second position, Red Bull. Third position, 107 points. Renault, 46 points, sitting at fourth position. McLaren, fifth position with 40 points. Sixth, Force India Mercedes, 26 points. Followed by Toro Rosso in seventh position, 19 points. Haas, 19 points, also locked with Toro Rosso in eighth position. Ninth, Sauber, 11 points. Williams, 4 points. First time in many years that all the teams have managed to score points in Constructors' Championship. The McLaren misery is continuing, as we saw in Melbourne also, when at the start of the season they were 0.7 seconds down, slower than Renault in the second qualifying, and they did not go beyond. Here in Canada, after being the development push, they were 0.9 seconds adrift. Not exactly many signs of progress there, despite racing director Gilles Villeneuve insisting that he has 100% confidence in McLaren technical team. Fernando Alonso is starting his 3300th Grand Prix here. Let's not quibble about the statistics. From 14th on the grid, after enjoying a little ceremony put on by the Formula 1 with the other drivers before the drivers' parade today, following his closest battle with teammate Stoffel Van this year. However, he says he's confident he will score points, but in a car which the team struggles for low corner grip, and therefore they are ruining with more wing than idle here. It won't be easy. Also, there is a lot of uncertainty about the Fernando Alonso long-term future in Formula 1. He has not won a race since 2013, remember, in Ferrari days. And since joining McLaren in 2015, he has been stranded in the midfield, unable to display his talent. Alonso hasn't sounded happy with his lot this session either. He has repeatedly criticized Formula 1 being too predictable, with the top three teams a second lap clear of the race. However, having said that, we have a very absorbing final race day at our hands. Some more updates. Intercooler on Raikkonen's Ferrari has been changed. Supposedly the same problem that struck the engine in Grosjean Haas yesterday. Ferrari checked all Ferrari engine card after Grosjean's spectacular qualifying failure. National anthem has been sung. We are all set. No controversies like in Spain, although playing the Catalan anthem would be particularly odd here. So once again, hello and welcome to live commentary coverage of Canadian Grand Prix. Qualifying was fascinating, and we have got three different teams in first three positions. So this should be surely a fun. Watch for the Lance Stroll here. The local favorite came home in the points last year, but his Williams team haven't had the best of weekends so far. The Canadian has already tangled with the wall of champions. Can he manage to stay out of the trouble in the race? We have to see. Local boy Lance Stroll. Drivers have headed towards the front of the grid for the national anthem, and anticipation is building here with a little over 10 minutes or less than that to go until the start. A lot of hard work for Roman Grosjean to do, as he failed to qualify after suffering a technical failure in the pit lane at the start of qualifying. However, this circuit is famed for overtaking. So will we see the Frenchman surge through the field? Time to tell. No risk of rain whatsoever, as the drivers are getting ready in their cars now. Nico Hülkenberg has told that we have a good car, a good package, so looking forward to starting this race, says Nico Hülkenberg. He has qualified best of the rest, remember, in P7, and will be fighting to keep the Force India duo behind him, Sergio Perez and Esteban Ocon.
This broadcast is co-presented by Untitled Chapter in association with DHL Official Logistics Partner and TS
This lively city of Montreal, Canada welcomes to the round 7 of Formula 1 2018, named after the Mont Royal, the hill in the heart of the city. No building can be taller than Mont Royal. City buildings are all connected by 32 kilometers of underground tunnels. More than 600 films have been shot in this venue. Circuit tiles were new. 40 years ago, the first race started, also hosting 1976 Olympic rowing races. Michael Schumacher holds the record of 7 wins here. If today Hamilton wins, he will be equaling great Michael Schumacher record. 4.361 kilometer track, 3 sectors, 348 kilometer top speed. Turn 14. Record lap, Rubens Barrichello 1 minute 13.622 surely will be broken. Turn 1 accident in 2014 between Massa and Perez is to be remembered, where 2017 horrific crash for Robert Kubica also nobody can forget. And turn 13 and 14, contact with Wall of Champions for Michael Schumacher in 1999 is also a memorable one. 3 tire choices: super soft, ultra soft, hyper soft. Track grip 1 of 5, traction 5 of 5 for this circuit. There will be mixed strategy in terms of starting. Starting grid: Sebastian Vettel starting alongside Valtteri Bottas for Mercedes. Max Verstappen starting third alongside Lewis Hamilton. Kimi Räikkönen starts alongside Daniel Ricciardo. Nico Hülkenberg starts 7th alongside Esteban Ocon. Carlos Sainz for Renault starts alongside Sergio Perez. Kevin Magnussen Haas starts alongside Brendan Hartley 12th. 13th Charles Leclerc alongside Fernando Alonso in 14th. 15th Stoffel Van Dorn starts alongside Lance Stroll in 16th. 17th and 18th Sergei Sirotkin Williams, Marcus Ericsson Sauber, and last two positions for Pierre Gasly, penalty for change of engine alongside Roman Grosjean.
Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms. Feel it in your legs. Feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go. Just let your body go. Just let your body go. And move to the rhythm.
As the tire blankets are coming out from the cars, drivers are getting ready for the warm-up lap for round number 7 of Canadian Grand Prix here.
Now we will go back home today, until the very last hour. We still got a few more days to slay, it's gonna get so much louder. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all.
As the formation lap gets underway, very interesting first lap we have at our hands. Ferrari have decided to start on ultra soft, whereas Red Bulls are going to start on hyper soft tires, with Mercedes also on ultra soft tires. Remember, both the Mercedes drivers are starting on the dirty side of the track, which could be a disadvantage here. As the formation lap just about to get over, we are ready to see the action coming on our way. As the engine gets fired up, all drivers start moving, and with a great weather over there, no chances of rain whatsoever, we are all set for the cars getting stopped on the starting grid and waiting for the 5 red lights to go off. As Vettel leading the pack, warming up the tires. Sebastian Vettel already pointing the nose inwards to ensure he has the lead in his grasp. We are all set, waiting for the last few cars to come in. Roman Grosjean last on the grid and ready for a great weekend here in Montreal. As the last car comes on the track, stationary, medical car behind, waiting for the red lights to come on. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 red lights go off and we have Canadian Grand Prix on. Sebastian Vettel has a good start. Equally though, Valtteri Bottas losing out. Max Verstappen is coming ahead in front. Wheel-to-wheel racing between Max Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas manages to keep ahead of Max Verstappen. Not much action behind, however Raikkonen seems to be losing out. Raikkonen is already behind Daniel Ricciardo as Renault tries to. Renault has also lost out, and we have a big accident behind Brendan Hartley, and one of the Williams had a great in-air collision there. Yellow flag, sector 1 and 2. What a bad luck for Toro Rosso car. Looks he's fine. What happened? Toro Rosso hit the wall and he collected the Williams on the way. Lance Stroll, local boy, out right in the first lap. Looks Lance Stroll had lost the control and he hit Brendan Hartley. Safety car has been deployed. Everybody was moving cleanly except Hartley, who collected Lance Stroll right in the lap 1, and we have safety car in place. As both the drivers come out of the car, Vettel is ahead of the pack, led by Sebastian Vettel. This Grand Prix action right at the start. Into the pits immediately for Williams, one of the Renault and McLaren also. Stoffel Vandoorne is the guy who is in the pits. Probably must have picked up the puncture as they were right behind Lance Stroll and Brendan Hartley. As Stoffel Vandoorne joins at the back of the pack, safety car is still there to remove the debris. Oh my god, that's the first lap drama. Who would have expected the local boy Lance Stroll getting collected by Brendan Hartley after crashing into him, and both the drivers are off into the wall. Stroll, the same hope, is done before the first lap is ever done. Looks like there was definitely a mistake from Lance Stroll also, as he squeezed Brendan Hartley. Surely looks to be a driver error too. It was really a high-speed crash which happened, and could have been a dangerous crash whatsoever. Both the drivers are safe. We have safety cars still in place, as Lance Stroll family looks dejected in the hospitality box of Williams. Both the drivers are okay, that's a good news. So Lance Stroll and Brendan Hartley out of the race. As the safety car comes in this lap, Max Verstappen is seen side by side of Valtteri Bottas. Position swap, only 5th and 6th position as the race goes on. Sebastian Vettel leads safely, picking up a gap between him and Valtteri Bottas. Max Verstappen getting excited in 3rd position. Lewis Hamilton behind, quietly watching what's happening in front and want to be clear. And here, one of the Force India nearly collected 2 of the cars. Alonso makes a chase and he moves ahead. Alonso has moved to 11th position. Magnussen behind him looks for the opportunity and it does take an advantage of that with the spin of Sergio Perez. So lucky there were no more accidents as Sergio Perez slips in turn number 2. As Sebastian Vettel has picked up a 1.5 second lead over Valtteri Bottas. Verstappen, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Raikkonen, nothing much to differentiate between them. Both the Renaults in 8th and 9th position, Charles Leclerc in 10th position, Alonso in 11th. Accident between Lance Stroll and Brendan Hartley is under investigation now. In the meantime, Carlos Sainz in hot pursuit of Nico Hülkenberg. As Vettel leads the lap 7 of 70 of Canadian Grand Prix, and also under investigation are Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz. What happened where Sergio Perez was pushed off the circuit. In the meantime, battle for second, Valtteri Bottas and Max Verstappen. Hamilton is reporting dropout of power. Not in very good news for Lewis Hamilton here. Lap 8 of 70. Vettel leading here. Vettel is leading, sticking at 1.5 seconds, but Verstappen is pressurizing Bottas, staying within DRS range of the Mercedes. Ricciardo also in the DRS range of Hamilton, who is apparently reporting some engine issues. As Nico Hülkenberg chases Esteban Ocon of Force India. Very evenly matched top 6 cars. As both the Renaults are piling pressure on Esteban Ocon now. And definitely Renaults are stronger, pushing hard.
Voices in my head, know me, call me, I will be restless. Somehow they chose me. This is my nightlife. Wanna be high life.
Alonso is trying to get past Charles Leclerc here. As Fernando Alonso goes to the outside, Charles Leclerc holds on. Fernando Alonso wants to gather energy once again and then pile up pressure on Sauber. On that occasion, he did not get any chance to do that. Alonso definitely in faster car than Sauber. As we see this time around, Alonso is quite closer to Charles Leclerc, as both the Hondas, as both the Renaults are piling pressure on Esteban Ocon. As top 6 positions remaining same, Vettel leading, Bottas, Verstappen, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Sainz following. As Fernando Alonso chases Charles Leclerc. As the Force India of Sergio Perez comes into the pits. As Renaults still cannot find a way past Esteban Ocon, Force India. Fighting for 7th position is on. In the meantime, fastest lap by Sebastian Vettel, 1 minute 15.475 seconds. As we go to the lap 12 of 70, Vettel still leads comfortably with 3.8 seconds over Bottas. Verstappen has a gap of 2.2 seconds. Lewis Hamilton further 1.6 seconds. Daniel Ricciardo 1.4 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton. Then Raikkonen also keeping almost same gaps for top 6 drivers, 1.5 to 2 seconds. Then the challenge for Nico Hülkenberg and Sainz, who managed to swap positions for Esteban Ocon, who went to the pits. So rest of the best for both the Renaults. Charles Leclerc in 9th position, followed by Fernando Alonso in 10th position. Sebastian Vettel in the meantime sets up another fastest lap of the race. Tires of Red Bull starts now raining, they will probably have to sooner go for the pit stop. As Reynolds get the Nico Hülkenberg pit stop, not a very fast one. Let's see where he joins. Nico Hülkenberg, not a very best pit stop whatsoever. As he joins back in 13th position. Sebastian Vettel leading. He is setting up the pace for the field. These on ultra soft tires. The danger looms for Red Bulls who are on hyper soft tires, as they don't seem to be lasting more than few laps from now. Bottas is in second place as of now, as the Red Bull of Max Verstappen is falling quickly now in terms of the timings. Lewis Hamilton, however, still has some gap because he was reporting some problem with the engine, as Carlos Sainz is coming for the pit stop. Critical pit stop for Renault here. Clean, and you have super soft tires on for Carlos Sainz, and let's see where he joins. This is lap 15 of 70. And he joins back in 13th position behind Nico Hülkenberg. As Daniel Ricciardo on the back of Lewis Hamilton. Let's see what Daniel Ricciardo can do. on hyper soft tires. As Kimi Räikkönen is also not very far behind as Daniel Ricciardo closes into Lewis Hamilton. Battle for fourth position is on. It looks like Lewis is struggling now. As Hamilton decides to pit alongside Max Verstappen. It's going to be very interesting pit stop. Both the teams have to make a very clean pit stop here. Let's see. Verstappen first. Clean pit stop for Max Verstappen. And he goes back on the track. Lewis Hamilton also has a bit of slow pit stop, I would say, for Lewis Hamilton. Both drivers comes out and Hamilton does get out in front of Charles Leclerc, and Charles Leclerc tries to challenge Lewis Hamilton as Lewis Hamilton will still look for some grip. Will this young kid show some aggression here on four-time world champion to overtake him? Ricciardo is absolutely nailing this lap as he comes in the pit this time around. Daniel Ricciardo from third position. It'll be interesting whether he can jump Lewis Hamilton here if he has a good pit stop. Let's see what he can do. Very clean pit stop. Let's see. Where is Lewis Hamilton? He's still behind. He's still crossing start-finish line. Looks like. And Daniel Ricciardo has overtaken Lewis Hamilton in the pit strategy. He's just behind Max Verstappen. What a great lap from Daniel Ricciardo. So, soft tires have worked for Daniel Ricciardo. He has made an advantage, and Lewis Hamilton finds himself in 6th position behind Daniel Ricciardo. Very good position for both the Red Bull drivers. Toto Wolff in some kind of concerns over there. That's a crucial place lost to the championship leader. In the meantime, Kimi Räikkönen, he's also looking for pit stop. Now into the pits have gone Fernando Alonso, and he joins back in 13th position. In fact, 14th position behind Esteban Ocon. As Lewis Hamilton now starts picking up the pace on Daniel Ricciardo. Looks like Vettel is going very strong. However, we have to see, because these hardest compound tires have worked for Mercedes on all the pre-practice sessions here. So will he be able to switch on the tires to the performance here, Lewis Hamilton? Let's see. Then he can be lethal on both the Red Bulls if he can do that. As Lewis Hamilton tries to close the gap to Daniel Ricciardo. And Alonso has actually gone ahead of Charles Leclerc by staying a little bit longer on the old tire. And Leclerc has missed out on the pit stop. Alonso is in 13th position, Leclerc is in 14th now. As we go to lap 22 of 70, Vettel is leading Canadian Grand Prix with Bottas behind him, 4.9 second gap. Raikkonen and bit of lockup from Sebastian Vettel. His tire life also should be coming to an end now. But he's got the cleanest air in front of him, so he can extend the tire life as much as possible. As Lewis Hamilton gets into the DRS zone of Daniel Ricciardo, danger looms for Red Bull if Lewis Hamilton is able to get the tire switch on his Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton is charging on Daniel Ricciardo.
Now we're here
Red Bull doesn't like those tires, as we have seen in the free practice sessions also earlier this weekend.
Take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms. Feel it in your legs. Feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go. Just let your body go. Just let your body go and move to the rhythm.
In the meantime, Raikkonen will be almost touch and go because he needs 17.5 seconds and Raikkonen is about 15.5 seconds. So if Raikkonen can put 2 quick laps, then he can come out in front of Max Verstappen's car. And surely in front of Lewis Hamilton if he puts up faster laps here.
I wonder what went wrong today. Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words you say. Say the words you remember.
Let's see how the strategies in terms of pit stops works out. There could be a chance that Red Bulls try and go for 2-stop strategy in the later part of the race, but that's always tactical as it takes almost 17 seconds off for that strategy. In the meantime, this time around, Nico Hülkenberg makes a move on Roman Grosjean and sticks it safely and good job done. And Sebastian Vettel makes one more lockup in this lap. Now really pushing to the wall the pit stop timing for Sebastian Vettel and should be looking for pit stop any moment now. Last time around, Sebastian Vettel's time has been reduced as compared to Valtteri Bottas. Now Sebastian Vettel is getting traffic in front of him. Looks to be good if Bottas can stay 1 or 2 laps as Sebastian Vettel is struggling now for the grid. Both the Renault cars have overtaken Haas. Lap 27 of 17, 2 cars out in the very first lap. That was Lance Stroll and Brendan Hartley. 18 cars on the track. Vettel doesn't seem to be totally comfortable with the car. However, he knows he should not be pitting first and allow Bottas to pit first. So he has a chance better than Bottas, as we have seen in both McLaren pitting and jumping ahead of Charles Leclerc, and also Daniel Ricciardo coming out in front of Lewis Hamilton. It would be a great thing if Raikkonen can make a pit stop and come out in front of Lewis Hamilton. Interesting battle in our hands. Lap 28 of 70. As Roman Grosjean is being attacked by Esteban Ocon in Force India. As Esteban Ocon in 10th position gets into DRS zone behind Roman Grosjean, should not be able to challenge much. Roman Grosjean is still on the older set of tires. Goes through the final chicane. Time fastest lap once again set by Sebastian Vettel, 1 minute 15.059. This time around, Ocon seems to be making a move. However, Grosjean closes the door. As they come around start-finish straight now with DRS on, Ocon tries once again, not closing enough, and stays put in 10th position, Esteban Ocon. With this, Alonso is getting advantage as he reduces the gap between him and Esteban Ocon. In the meantime, Lewis Hamilton still chasing Daniel Ricciardo. Change of fortune for Lewis Hamilton, as he is the winner here for last 3 races, and this time around it doesn't seem to be catching up as required. 70. Vettel still leading, and pit crew is getting ready for Ferrari. Who is it? It's the leader. Sorry, Kimi Räikkönen coming first for the pits. It will be interesting to see whether he can come out in front of Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton is there and looks very comfortably actually. It's going to be actually very tight. Just manages to come in front. Lewis Hamilton. Kimi Räikkönen just loses out. He hasn't made it.
The closer you got to me, the faster I try to leave. Like a mirage, like a mirage.
Mercedes could just do enough to stay ahead of Kimi Räikkönen. Now the interesting is only about the leader Vettel and Bottas, because whoever picks first is going to be in a clear disadvantageous position as we have seen in the past. So it will be very interesting to see who picks first. As a lot of celebrities are there for the race. Michael Douglas, one of the Hollywood actors, is also present at the circuit. So how the leaderboard sounds as of now: Sebastian Vettel leads, Bottas second, Verstappen third, Daniel Ricciardo fourth, Lewis Hamilton fifth, Kimi Räikkönen sixth, Nico Hülkenberg and Sainz in seventh and eighth, Roman Grosjean ninth, Esteban Ocon 10th, and Fernando Alonso in 11th position, followed by Charles Leclerc, Gasly, Perez, Magnussen, Vando, Ericsson, and Sirotki. In the meantime, fastest lap set by Kimi Räikkönen. He's turning on his tires. Remember, Kimi Räikkönen will be in an advantageous position because his tires are fresh, whereas Lewis Hamilton's tires are already 18 laps old. This is the advantage Kimi Räikkönen will try to take. As of now, Kimi Räikkönen is getting closer and closer to Lewis Hamilton. Let's see what he does. Kimi Räikkönen. A lot of people say that aggressiveness in Kimi Räikkönen is no more there. We will have to see as Kimi Räikkönen gets closer and closer. As Mercedes getting ready for their pit stop, they feel enough is enough. That will be definitely advantageous for Sebastian Vettel here. Let's see what happens in this pit stop. Only two guys to still make a pit stop. And Valtteri Bottas is going to stop this time around. Yes, he goes to the pits. 80 km/h. Pit lane speed. Let's see how the pit stop goes for Valtteri Bottas. fresh tires, super soft goes on. 3.2 seconds, not a very tidy one, but should be okay as he comes around in clear air, well ahead of Red Bull, Verstappen and Ricardo. Let's see what Sebastian Vettel does now. As if he can put one or two faster laps than Bottas, he should be in a good position. So he's been told to box now. Sebastian Vettel should be a comfortable stop and coming out ahead of Bottas. Race leader Sebastian Vettel comes to the pits. We expect no nonsense in the pits for Ferrari as old tire goes out, super soft goes in, clean pit stop, 2.7 seconds. Very good pit stop. Where does he join? As he joins also in the clean air, and we don't see Valtteri Bottas behind in the background. So Ferrari is definitely in advantageous position here after many years. Sebastian Vettel is in total control of this race. As of now, everything is perfect for Sebastian Vettel. Of 70, Sebastian Vettel comfortably leads Canadian Grand Prix, but Esteban Ocon is expected to get under some kind of pressure from Alonso as he's still not able to get past Roman Grosjean despite of better cars. is slower than Lewis Hamilton now. In the meantime, Sebastian Vettel puts another faster lap of the race, 1 minute 14.1. As the gap between Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Räikkönen goes to 2.3 seconds, Kimi Räikkönen somehow wants to stay put over there and gather all the energy towards the end of the race and pile up pressure on Lewis Hamilton, which is definitely will be not in an advantageous position in the last few laps of the race. However, on top, leaderboard, Vettel is leading with Bottas 5.5 second gap. Verstappen following, Ricciardo behind him, Lewis Hamilton 5th position, Raikkonen 6th, Hülkenberg and Sainz in 7th and 8th position, Roman Grosjean. Looks like some trouble for Fernando Alonso as other cars are overtaking. That is very, very bad for Fernando Alonso. It's a horrible time for Fernando Alonso. It's 300th Grand Prix for Fernando Alonso and he has to retire the car. As Fernando Alonso joins the list of retirees for this race. lap 45, Vettel leading, Bottas second, Verstappen third, Daniel Ricciardo fourth, Lewis Hamilton fifth, Kimi Räikkönen sixth, Nico Hülkenberg seventh, Carlos Sainz eighth, Romain Grosjean ninth, Esteban Ocon 10th, completing the point scoring position. Elsewhere, 11th Charles Leclerc, Pierre Gasly, Sergio Perez, Kevin Magnussen, Stoffel Vandoorne, Marcus Ericsson and Sergei Sirotkin. Alonso, Stroll and Hartley are out of the race. Very interesting. Romain Grosjean is still running on those ultra soft tires right from beginning. 45 laps have been done. As Daniel Ricciardo is keeping a healthy gap between him and Lewis Hamilton. Looks no positions are getting challenged as of now, but surely Kimi Räikkönen some point of the time in this race will start piling pressure on Lewis Hamilton. As we go to lap 48, 22 laps remaining. Vettel is leading, and if all positions are intact, so Sebastian Vettel may lead the championship. In the meantime, overtaking the back markers has started as Daniel Ricciardo overtakes one of the fast cars. Lewis Hamilton also does so. However, all the drivers have kept the cars out of the wall and safely on the track except for the first lap drama. In the meantime, Carlos Sainz has a big lockup and he decides to take the escape route. As Ocon overtakes Roman Grosjean. Anyway, Grosjean was just coming to the pits. Nearly had a collision there. As Grosjean finally goes for the pit stop. Let's see where he joins back.
Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control.
So Vendon comes for the pit stop also. Goes for Microsoft tires. Elsewhere, Sebastian Vettel comfortably ahead 5.6 seconds of Bottas, Verstappen in third position, Ricciardo fourth, Hamilton in fifth, Kimi Räikkönen in sixth position, followed by Nico Hülkenberg and Carlos Sainz in Renault in seventh and eighth, Esteban Ocon in ninth, Charles Leclerc in 10th position, completing the point scoring positions there.
Until the very last hour, we still got a few more days to slay. It's gonna get so much louder. Now we're here to take control over your body.
As we go to the lap,
we're gonna take back everything and lose it all, lose it all, lose it all.
51 of 70, 19 laps to go for this Canadian Grand Prix. No more dramas after the first lap. Sebastian Vettel comfortably ahead of Valtteri Bottas. Top 6 positions are the same, what we were expecting. As we look forward at the end of the race where we're going to see some action from Kimi Räikkönen, who is on better set of tires than Lewis Hamilton. Charles Leclerc is being told he's in points, needs to drive nicely, carefully and hard.
I wonder what went wrong today. Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember.
lap 53 of 70. 17 laps to go. And Vettel comfortably ahead of Valtteri Bottas. In the meantime, it was pity for McLaren, Fernando Alonso, and I'm sure after he must have parked his car, he must be thinking about might be a full season in IndyCar and looking forward to Le Mans 24. Not a great positive time for McLaren whatsoever is the case. This is the first engine of this version 2.0 of the season and no good for them. Same engine is in back of Red Bull, but Red Bulls are much stronger than McLaren. In the meantime, Sergio Perez is chasing Kevin Magnussen, who is in DRS zone now. Both the Haas cars in 11th and 12th position. Perez is on fresher set of tires. No change in positions for top three, Vettel, Bottas and Verstappen. Race pace is being managed by Sebastian Vettel very well all throughout. In the meantime, Verstappen is driving very well this race around, no mistakes whatsoever, and Bottas made a mistake here. As he was trying to go past Carlos Sainz, the back marker, Valtteri Bottas, had a moment with him. Looks a bit of overcooked Valtteri Bottas. Bottas was very lucky to get away with that. All of this is helping Sebastian Vettel, who is leading the Grand Prix. Now Bottas comes charging this time around on Sainz. almost like a two-tier Formula One, where Sebastian Vettel, except the top three teams, has lapped all the cars. As Renault is all set to get another 7th and 8th position finishes for Hülkenberg and Sainz. In the meantime, fastest lap once again by Sebastian Vettel, 1 minute 30.964 seconds. As Hamilton this time around is almost 8 tenths faster than Daniel Ricciardo. As the last 10 laps in this race to go, Vettel still leading comfortably. In fact, 7.8 second gap between him and Valtteri Bottas. Positions looks pretty much frozen for the podium. So Lewis Hamilton is the only contender who seems to be in contention for the 4th position. He's 1.4 seconds behind Daniel Ricciardo.
The closer you got to me, the faster I try to leave. Like a mirage, like a mirage.
final 9 laps of the race, going all smooth for Sebastian Vettel and set for the third win of the season here. Bottas is behind him in second position, 7.8 second gap. Verstappen for the 4.3 second gap. Daniel Ricciardo 8.8 seconds. And we go for Grosjean on Gasly for 11th position. Let's see what Grosjean can do. Can he by the end of the race challenge Charles Leclerc for the final position, final point for this race? As Lewis Hamilton is eating away time from Daniel Ricciardo. Looks some problem for Daniel Ricciardo in terms of batteries. He needs to gather and keep his cool and calm to ensure he retains the fourth position here. It's only 7 laps to go. Just imagine he broke again, going to overtake. Next car will be Esteban Ocon to put them lap down.
Voices in my head, know me, call me, I will be restless, so how they show.
As Daniel Ricciardo forcing their car lap down. Lewis Hamilton, the next one, gets a bit of delay to overtake Esteban Ocon. Running in the traffic. However, no change in position for Gasly and Grosjean for 11th position fight. Looks to be they're going to settle in that position. As Daniel Ricciardo now finds Lewis Hamilton back of his tail. Going to be a bit interesting last 5 laps of this race for Daniel Ricciardo to hold on his position. 2 weeks back he was in Monaco with power down 25% and he managed to win that Grand Prix. but not anymore in Canada. He has to show off what he has in his pocket today. As we can see, both Daniel Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton very close to each other. Less than a second. In the meantime, Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 13.864. Sebastian Vettel in lap 67 is having a good advantage of 7.5 seconds on Valtteri Bottas. So it's going to be very interesting if all finishes in this position. So Sebastian Vettel is actually going to be leading the driver championship by just 1 point. That will be interesting because 5 Grand Prix will be coming within a span of 6 to 7 weeks, and it will be very, very interesting to see how Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton take it up from here as they keep overtaking the traffic here. Verstappen is just about 1.6 seconds behind Valtteri Bottas, and Lewis Hamilton is behind Daniel Ricciardo, very close to Daniel Ricciardo this time around, and he had made some mistake. He got understeer in the last lap, in the second corner, as Lewis Hamilton once again this time around gets behind. So the Sirotkin loses some time. He has to once again catch up with Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo as of now holding on position. Verstappen is also close to Bottas. We have 2 laps to go. Do we see or expect some drama in the last 2 laps here? We'll have to wait for another 2 minutes. As this time around, Lewis Hamilton gets the DRS start-finish straight. Could be very, very close this time around. Daniel Ricciardo keeps it clean by late braking in turn 1. Manages to stay ahead. In the meantime, Verstappen is also just about 1 second gap between him and Bottas. Looks like Daniel Ricciardo, he wants to keep this position 4 and gain valuable points, as Max Verstappen is just 1.1 seconds behind Valtteri Bottas. this race. And you're all set to see the third win of Sebastian Vettel here for Ferrari. And Vettel wins Canadian Grand Prix with Bottas in second position. Verstappen, Ricciardo will come out in third and fourth position here. Daniel Ricciardo sets the fastest lap of the race in the last penultimate lap. As everybody cheering for Sebastian Vettel. And here's Sebastian Vettel, winner of Canadian Grand Prix. Third win of the season for Sebastian Vettel here. 50th career win for Sebastian Vettel. Second place for Valtteri Bottas. Second goes to Max Verstappen. Ricciardo comes home in fourth position. Fifth, Lewis Hamilton. Kimi Räikkönen comes home sixth. Seventh, Nico Hülkenberg. Eighth, Carlos Sainz. Ninth, Esteban Ocon, and Charles Leclerc completes the top 10. What a race we had. Third win of the season for Sebastian Vettel. With this, I bring close to this live commentary. This is your host Naresh from Autocars India. Do like and subscribe my channel, and till such time, have a safe drive and look forward to see you in week's time for the next Grand Prix of round 8 of this 2018 season.